Hi, I'm Rita. Welcome back to my YouTube channel at Worth Reading. And welcome to a new weekly reading vlog. I had honestly missed filming just like a regular weekly reading vlog without any type of challenge, without it being like a TVARI destruction project. And I don't know, I just felt like this week would be a good week to do it. Today is the 9th of November. It is a Monday and I'm so excited about starting this week. Not that I have like any specific like really exciting plans or anything. I have been feeling so much better in December and I feel like I'm really coming back to myself and feeling like myself again, which is honestly so great. It's honestly all that I've been wanting in the last couple of weeks, in the last 2 months. And yeah, I just feel so much better. And because of that, I don't know, I just feel like filming and talking to you, I guess. Also, my birthday is next week, so I'll do another vlog for that. My birthday week. I'm turning 25. There are panic alarms everywhere around me, but I am ignoring them. I am turning 25 and yeah, just one step closer to 30, I guess. I know I'm still so young, but it's such a big age, like 25. Like that's a quarter of 100. That's halfway to 50, which is really scary. But with that all being said, sorry, let's talk about the books I'll be reading this week. Okay, so I'm currently listening to my first audiobook of the year. I haven't listened to any single audiobooks this year, but I'm currently listening to The Woman in Me by Miss Britney Spears, and I am so excited. I've been meaning to read this book for, I don't know, since it came out, I guess. And I'm really enjoying it. I'm 60% in, and I am so sorry for her life. And I don't understand, like, I know the writing isn't anything that special, but people like really criticize the writing for not being lyrical enough or being really childish. I don't agree. I feel like the writing is just fine. I feel like she's just talking to me and telling me things about her life, and I don't need every memoir to be like exceptionally written. I don't need every memoir to be a revelation. Like, this is just like, I like listening to it, and I'm definitely not criticizing the writing at all, maybe because I'm listening to it, but I feel like it's just fine in a good way. So I'm currently listening to that. I'm also currently reading a nonfiction about tarot because I've gotten really into my tarot cards again after my life fell apart. So I've been really into that lately, and I've been wanting to know more about it. I've been really into just discovering more about the craft, different ways of reading the cards, different meanings of the cards. So I'm currently reading Living Tarot by Susan Chang, I think. And I'm also really enjoying that. I think I'm almost 40% of the way through with that. And then I'm also currently reading, this is a lot, I'm also currently reading Physically Good Girl Bad Blood by Holly Jackson, which is so exciting. I feel like I really needed this book at this moment. I started last night. I'm currently almost on page 50, and this is the fastest read ever. At least A Good Girl's Guide to Murder was such a fast read. And I felt like I just really need like a thrillery mystery to, I don't know, just fly by. I still have As Good as Dead on my TBR to read. And again, I'm still trying to read my physical TBR up until the end of the year, baby. Like, I'm doing the most that I can, especially now that my birthday's coming up, Christmas is coming up. New books will be entering my life, so I'm trying the most that I can to read the books that I already own. So those are the 3 books I'm currently reading. I'm sure that I'll be reading all of them. I think that I'll be done with this in like an instant, and then I'm still not sure what I'm going to read next, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Today I don't have a lot of plans. I have to film a couple of videos this afternoon to, you know, just get them ready, because this is also like the end of the semester for my post-grad that I'm doing. I only have like 2 weeks left of my semester, so there's a lot that I have to deliver at the end of December, so I'm also working through that. And it's going to be a busy couple of weeks, but in a really good way. And I have to film a couple of videos in advance to just get them ready. So that's what I'll be doing. And right now I'm also going to be picking up a clothing like package that I bought. This is my first year buying things on Black Friday, which I have never done before. I'm not a very like consumerist person. Obviously I like buying books. I sometimes like buying clothes. I buy almost all my clothes secondhand, but this year I was just like, okay, I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to try to find a couple things, but I have to give a couple of things back that I didn't enjoy, and I have to receive another package. So I'm going to the mall today on a Monday morning, because any other time than that it's chaos. And I think I'm going to be checking out some books. I have a gift card that I have to use in like the next 2 weeks as well, or it'll expire, so I do have to buy some things. I'm not saying that it'll be today, but I'm going to check out the books anyway. And I'm just going to have like a little morning to myself, just like seeing what's out there, maybe buying gifts for other people, because I still need to do that at 2. And this intro is long enough already. I'll see you when I see you, and welcome to the vlog. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a good time. Okay, my hair is drying. It's looking absolutely psychotic, but let's do the first update of this vlog. Yesterday, I actually finished The Woman in Me by Britney Spears, by Miss Britney Spears. I thought it was so good. I don't usually rate memoirs unless there are like a 5, and I'm just gonna give it a 5 because I just really enjoyed my time with it. The writing wasn't the most spectacular, but again, I really don't think it was as bad as people say that it is. Again, I didn't read it physically, but it just didn't feel as stilted or as childish as people said that it was. And I feel like even if it were, it made sense for what she was going through and what she actually talks about in the book, which is that she kind of regressed a little bit in terms of her attitudes and her womanhood. So she regressed a little bit to a more childish position due to her trauma and the things that happened to her. So I feel like it just really made sense for her story, her journey, and I had a really great time reading it, honestly, listening to it, I guess. I also did most of my 2025 reading journal prep. I've started like drawing things so that when I actually sit down to film, it won't take me about like 7 hours as it usually does. And I'm really, really excited. I am so excited about 2025. I don't want it to bite me in the ass, but like, I'm really excited. Reading wise, life wise, I'm just excited. And anyway, I also bought yesterday, you don't care, but I'm gonna show you anyway. I bought my calendar because I have a bookish calendar this year, but I looked at the edition of 2025 and I just didn't like the books. I didn't like the illustrations as much. So I decided to go with a Monet calendar, which is really, really cute. I mean, I just like looking at pretty paintings every month. That is just a very appealing idea to me, like to have like a beautiful painting in my room every single month. So I'm really excited about this purchase. And I also had to give some of my clothes back. That's the problem with buying things online, is that, yeah, like sometimes it just don't fit right. So I had to give a couple of things back, and I only got to keep one coat. Maybe I'll show it to you later. I don't feel like doing that right now, but I kept one coat. So at least that's something. And I want to update you on the other book that I'm currently reading, which you know, that is Good Girl Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. Again, this book just flies by. I don't know what it is, but like Holly Jackson's writing is just so fun. It's so fresh and light, but it just goes by so fast. I mean, technically I was already 40 pages in, but I read 120 pages yesterday, so I'm currently on page 160, which is like a third of the way in, almost halfway through, because this is like 410 pages, so I'm like almost halfway through, and I'm really enjoying this book. I've heard that people don't like this book as much as the first and the third. The third one is very controversial, but people don't like this one as much as the first one, but I'm liking it so far. I don't have an emotional attachment to the characters which the mystery surrounds in this time, but I find it interesting. I like our main character Pip, which is great because usually YA main characters can be a little bit grating because we were very grating as teenagers. So sometimes the characters can like not be the best to follow, but I actually really like Pip. I love Ravi. I love their cute little romance, their relationship. It's just really cute. And I'm just having a really great time with it, honestly. They're like, there's a podcast element, there are like files, there are interviews, there are actually like, there are actual photos of evidence. So I feel like it's just it's very fun. The mixed media like really helps to like just make this book fly by. And I'm hoping that I'll read a lot more today. I would love to, I don't know, I don't want to set a goal for myself specifically, but I would like to have this done before Thursday, let's say, so I can start another book. But yeah, I'm having a really great time. Today I have to film a couple of videos. I'm filming my 2025 reading goals, which I don't have a lot of. And I was looking, I really thought that I wrote down my 2024 reading goals and I just cannot find it. So I'm actually making a spread for my 2025 reading goals on my journal because I cannot, for the life of me, I was going to react to my reading goals of this year, but I just cannot find it, which is really pissing me off. So I'm going to make sure that I write it down on my actual journal this year. I don't have a lot of goals. I'm also doing like those kind of like TVARs for the year, but they never go well for me. They never fucking go well for me. Like, I was looking at this one's and I read a third of it. So embarrassing, honestly, really, really embarrassing. But we're doing it again in 2025. So that's what I'll be doing this afternoon. I'll be filming that video, I'll be editing that video, and I'll be reading. I want to start another book. I don't know which one, but I really want to start another book, but I don't know. We'll just have to see. I'm going to leave it up to fate. Guys, good morning. I am looking so crusty at the moment. I'm still in my pajamas. Let's ignore that, okay? Today we're getting a little cozy, you and me. And we are going to be talking about the fact that yesterday I somehow finished Good Girl Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. When I tell you that this writing is so fresh, it's so addictive, it's so easy to read. I read this whole book yesterday, basically. I was on page 160. As I was saying, somehow I read this much yesterday, which is kind of psychotic. But it was just like, it's so easy to read, honestly. And I want to tell you that I actually really enjoyed this book. I was a bit scared going in because a lot of my friends thought that this second book was a little bit disappointing. I actually didn't think so. I thought it was pretty great. It was a lot more intense than the first one. Actually, like towards the end, things got very serious. But I really enjoyed it. I thought the mystery was really fun. It was really, I was stressed, honestly. And I've already started seeing the seeds for the next book that it's here. For the next book, As Good as That, which I will be starting today. And this one is about our main character Pip, and she's the one that is being followed, stalked, something like that. And we've already started seeing a little bit of seeds in this. And there was also like an element to this mystery that came from the previous book, which I thought was really, really fun. And it really seems like Holly Jackson just had like an old arc in her head and that she's just following it in every single book. And I thought that that was really great, especially for a YA mystery. I don't know, just like an element like of the mystery of the second book having been like started in the first book, I feel like is so intelligent. And being able to look back at it and say, oh, that was something. Okay, that was something. And it wasn't a plot hole. That was something that this author wanted to explore in the next book in the series. So I've had a really great time. This was honestly another 4.5. Like, I had a beautiful grand old time with this. And I love the characters. I love Pip. I do. I love Ravi. I love her family. and I thought this was really great. It was some elements of this were very realistic in terms of not everything going her way, which is also nice. Sorry, my hair is very slept in, as you can see. I will be washing it. Not everything goes her way, even though she's our main character, which I really appreciate, because in real life, not everything goes your way, especially when you're doing dangerous things as Pip is doing. With that being said, I'm going to update my reading journal because I still haven't put The Woman in Me and this book in. And I'm so excited to be starting on As Good as Dead. I'm terrified of this book. The average rating is still very high, but the amount of like my friends and booktubers that I trust, I give it like 2 stars. I'm scared for my life. I know that there's some like big twist in this, or there's some like element that everybody hates. I don't know. I'm kind of scared. Also, this book is ginormous. This is 560 pages. So this is like almost 600 pages, but honestly, this was 400 and I read it in like 2 days. So it doesn't mean much. I'm definitely going to be starting this one today. Today I do have classes in the afternoon, so I will be going to that, and I still have to work for a little bit on a project that I'm doing, a group project. But for now, we are going to update the reading journal. I also have to film that someday. And yeah, I'm just really excited, and I'm having a grand old time with this series, and I'm so happy that I could finish the series before the year ends, because I feel like they will make it onto my favorites of the year. Hello. I feel like this vlog has been very boring. I'm sorry, I haven't been doing a lot of things. I just kind of did my thing today, and then I went to university, and now I was reading in my bed again. Nobody wants to see that, and I have to update you, and that's kind of what happened today. I hope tomorrow is a much more interesting day that I can actually vlog. But in terms of the reading updates, I told you that I was going to start As Good as Dead, and I did. I'm currently on page 103, so I'm only a little bit of the way through because this is so much longer than the previous 2 books, and this is so kind of sad already. Pip is dealing with a lot of trauma with how the second book ended, and honestly I feel like it's very realistic in terms of how she's dealing with this, because I don't know, you always see in like these YA mysteries that characters deal with the heaviest shit, the most traumatic shit you can imagine, like Pretty Little Liars, even the Truly Devious trilogy by, I don't remember the author's name, but even that, they deal with the most traumatic, horrific things, and then they're just like fine. And I feel like this is, at least though it's very sad and full of anger, it's very much kind of like how a person this age would act after the horrible things that have been happening and the environment in which they are living. But yeah, in this specific book, there are not a lot of, like, I can talk about this book without, again, a lot of trauma in the second book. I'm not going to tell you why, but I can talk about this book without spoiling the first 2. Basically, in this book, Pip is the victim. There is someone out there who is stalking her. The seeds have been left in the last book, and someone is stalking her, which is really, really scary, and I hate it, and it kind of like gets me chills. And somebody wants to harm her, and I feel the mystery will be surrounding her. as she is dealing with all of these very horrible things. And it's just so much. I feel so bad for her. There are so many horrible things happening like around her and to her, and I just feel so bad for her. She's really giving like Spencer Hastings in season 3 of Pretty Little Liars, if you get the reference. She's so giving Spencer Hastings, and I love Spencer, but she also went so through it throughout that entire series. Like she was the one that like went the most through it. So she's really giving Spencer, and I just feel really, really bad for her. But I'm hoping to read a lot more tomorrow. I don't know. I'm just excited to continue on. I'm kind of scared. I don't know where this is going. Truly. I really just don't know where this is going. But I really want to find out. Tomorrow I'll be reading a lot more of it. I don't want to read any more today because I'm really tired. And yeah, this is just very heavy. So I do want to relax a little bit before I go to sleep, so I don't have like bad dreams or anything. It's not that it's scary, but it is like kind of just creepy. So I will talk to you tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have a much more interesting day. But yeah, this is my 3rd book of the week, which feels really good. So at least that's something. I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. I'm in a slightly different place. I'm in front of my bookshelves, and I have been going through so many bookshelf reorganizations in 2024, and I'm just never happy with the way that my books look. I have a read shelf and an unread shelf, and things, as I read more of my unread shelf and put them in my read shelf, I am starting to not have enough space, and I'm just not really enjoying what's going on. And I also have a couple of books that I think I want to unhaul before the end of the year. So I think that I'm going to try to reorganize my books one last time in 2024, because I want to get into 2025 with fresh ideas, fresh looking shelves, and I think I'm going to try maybe to arrange them by genre. Could that be something? I don't know. I just do not like the way that they look at the moment, so I feel like I'm going to try my best to reorganize my shelves one last time and see if I'm finally happy with it. The camera is currently on my little tripod on my bed, which means that when I get up, you will not be able to see my face. You'll probably only see my butt. So I'm still trying to figure out how exactly I'm going to film this in order for you to see me. I guess I could just do it on my knees. I guess that could be something. I guess I could just... Oh my god, I have old knees. I guess I could just do this, though it might hurt me a little bit more, but I guess it could be something. So firstly, I'm just going to start by taking out all the books and cleaning my shelves, dusting my shelves, and then we'll figure out where to go from here. I'm going to start by putting everything that was already fantasy on this shelf. I'm going to just put everything together, and then we'll see where to go from there. So we have the Six of Crows duology, we have Emily Wilde's Map of the Other Lands. I only have this one because I let my friend Bia borrow the first one. Then I have the Athena Club series by Theodora Goss, so I'm also going to be putting that there. That is not the right order. Okay, I put the camera a little bit higher just so you can actually see me, and then I don't have any other fantasy books on this shelf, I don't think. So I'm going to take everything out of the second shelf. I'm going to put you down like this, and I'm going to take everything out. I already see here my Robin Hobbs, so here they go. And now we're going on to the last shelf, so I have a lot of books here. I'm just going to do that. Can you see this well? I think you can. Now, this is my most prized possession at the moment. This is the special edition of Emily Wilde's map of the other land, so I'm going to put that right here because I need that to be on display. Then here we also have the Shiver series by Maggie Stiefvater. This was very formative for me, so it needs to be here. Then we have It by Stephen King. This was kind of like a display copy, but I don't know if I want to keep it anymore. But I also don't know what the fuck to do with it because this is busted. Then we have The Raven Cycle by Maggie Stiefvater. Sorry guys, I'm just putting things in front of the camera. It is what it is. Then we have The Poppy War. Okay, so now that my bottom two shelves are empty, I'm just going to rearrange the higher up shelf. So I'm going to put you back here. Is that good? No, that is not good. That is good. And I'm also maybe going to be doing like a bookshelf tour. So we have here at the end, we have Babel by R.F. Kuang. Then we have The Adventures of Amin al-Zarafi. I like to put all my hardcovers together. So then we have the Nevermore series, the ones that I have already read. Then we have the Six of Crows duology, but I don't like the height difference, so I'm going to be shifting that. Oh, sorry guys. Then I have the Athena Club. Then I have my Assassin's Apprentice. Then we have A Dowry of Blood, which is fantasy, technically. And then we have The Poppy War. So I feel like I might do that. This is killing me. All these goddamn lights are killing me. Does that look good? Does that look better? I feel like that looks better. Is that true or am I making that up? I don't know. I'm going to shut up and I'm going to keep going. Okay, change of angle. I had to take my sweater off as well because I was getting really hot just like moving around and squatting. I put all my fantasy and sci-fi books on the floor and I'm going to start filling in the shelves with the rest of my fantasy and sci-fi that do not fit in here because I definitely want this on display, so I have to continue down here. So let's start that. Okay, I think that looks fine. So I think that after that I might start to do maybe my mysteries. I don't know, I'm so lost you guys. Like I feel like I have to use both of the shelves, which was not the plan, but I feel like that might need to happen. Or my contemporaries. Oh, guys, I don't know, I'm so lost, honestly. Okay, so my second shelf is complete. We have fantasy, we have my Maggie Stiefvater little space here. Then we have sci-fi and fantasy, but like all of this are sci-fi. This is fantasy. These are my dystopians, all of these. And these are my 3 horror books that I currently have, which are Woodworm by Lulu Martinez, The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix, and Lapona by Odessa Moshfegh. I didn't quite remember what this was, but then I looked at the horror Goodreads, and yeah, this is considered horror, so this is where it's going. And now I have so many books left. I don't know how these shelves were organized before because I have so many books left and I only have 1 shelf. So I'm going to start with my mystery thrillers I'm going to put you down a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to start with my thrillers, mysteries, whatever you want to call them. So first I have the Thursday Murder Club. They are in hardback, so they go here. Then we have the books that I'm currently reading, as you know, the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. So I'm going to put both of them here, and then the third one when I finally do finish. And then we have The Only One Left by Riley Sager. And I think that those are all of the horror, thriller, mystery books that I currently own. I have some more Agatha Christie, but I'm going to organize my contemporary first because they're more important to me, and then I'll see where I'm going to put my Agatha Christie ones. Then I don't know where to go from here because I have so many like contemporary, like general fiction books, I guess, that I might just start organizing them, and then we'll see. Next up, I think I'll be putting my classics because I only have 3 of those. And yeah, I don't have a lot more space, and I still have a couple of books left to put in. I have here like nonfiction. I have my Carlos Ruiz Zafón like historical fiction books to put. I am so confused how these were all on the shelves. I know that this is taking a lot of space, but like I want it to be on display. So I don't really know what to do, but I have to figure it out. So give me a second, I'll come back to you. I'm going to figure this out, and then we'll see what I'm going to do about it. Okay friends, I feel like I have finished my bookshelf reorganization. I'm going to be showing you a little bit of what I did. So again, all of my fantasy books, then we have more fantasy, then we have more fantasy and sci-fi, then we have more fantasy and dystopian, and then I decided to put here the beginning of my mysteries and thrillers, and they'll continue down here with my horror, and then all of this is contemporary. Then here we have 3 classics, and then we have my 2 nonfiction books. So am I absolutely satisfied with this? No. I feel like the only way that I'm going to be satisfied with this is when I finally start to combine the shelves, because I don't feel like it no longer works for me to have an unread shelf and a read shelf, because it is just not looking good. You know, it's just not looking good. But I am going to show you some close-ups of it, and then I'm going to show you a couple of books that I think that I am unhauling. The problem right now is that I love this first shelf, but then I just hate the space between this and my hardcovers. Like, I don't like it. I don't like the heights. I don't know, guys. I'm such a perfectionist when it comes to like organizing my books, and I'm literally never satisfied. I think it looks okay, but again, I think I will only actually be happy when I start to mix both of these shelves, because this is just no longer working for me. Okay, so I thought that I could show you the books that I think that I'm getting rid of. Again, It by Stephen King. I will never be reading this book, at least not like this. I bought it because I thought the cover was really, really fun, but I feel like it's time to just get rid of this busted ass book, to be quite honest. And then we have a couple of 3-star reads that just when I was like looking at my shelves, they just do not bring me joy. I don't usually recommend them. I don't usually talk about them, so I feel like it's time for me to get rid of them. and one of them is The Vaster Wilds by Lauren Groff. This makes me very sad, but I didn't really like this book. It doesn't really bring me joy. I have some memories because I did buy this book on a trip, so I have some memories because of that, but I don't like getting attached to books just because of that when they don't actually like spark joy and make me excited to have them. So I feel like I'm getting rid of this one. Then we have Harlem Shuffle. I love this cover, but this book was just okay. Again, I liked it. I liked the atmosphere, but this is going to be a trilogy. I don't feel like I'm going to read the whole trilogy. Even if I do, I'm definitely not going to own it. So even if I do continue, I'll probably read it on my Kindle. So I just feel like I don't really need this anymore. And then also very sad, we have Gingerbread by Eleanor Yayemi. I love this cover so much. And I also bought this book on the same trip that I bought The Vaster Wild, so I also have a couple of attachments because of that. Here I bought it at Book Off, but I just didn't really enjoy this book. I never recommend it. I never really think about it fondly. So I feel like it's just time to get over it and make space for new things that I love on my shelves, because I want my red shelf to be books that I loved and that I recommend, that I think about fondly and that I like. And these books were just okay, and yeah, they just don't bring me that joy that I want to have when I look at my shelves. So it's a little bit of an unhaul. Obviously it's on like they're all books that I have read except for it, but that's not on my TBR. I don't count this edition as something that I would read. It's purely for aesthetic. So the TBR number has not been moved, but it's fine. These are just a couple of books I'm getting rid of. Obviously I am going to be doing another bookshelf reorganization. Not a major one like this one, but I feel like the more that I read my physical books, like I'm going to be finishing As Good as Dead, and then that has to go on the shelves, and I don't currently have a lot of space for that. So I am going to have to mix the unread shelf and the read shelf, and that's going to be something. That's going to be something that is going to be happening soon, and I have to start thinking about that. But yeah, I don't know if I'm fully satisfied, guys. Like, me and my shelves, it's a war. It's a war going on between us. Like, I just do not like my shelves, but I will be finding my way with them. Okay, I'll be finding a way to be happy soon, one day, and everything will be okay. I believe in that, but for now, not very excited about it, honestly. Okay, we need to have a chat. Okay, I literally have not been able to stop reading this book. As I told you, I was on page 100 yesterday. I'm currently on page 300. Okay, I literally cannot stop reading this book. I am stressed, I am scared, I am loving it, but it's so much darker than the first two. I'm just gooped and gagged, I swear. Like, the amount of detail that Holly Jackson put into this book, the amount of breadcrumbs that she left in the past couple of books is crazy, like absolutely crazy. And I am just scared. Like, I have just reached part 2. It's so absolutely serious. I'm so stressed, and I don't know where these 200 pages are going, because what just happened, like, this could have been the end of the book. So what is coming? I am absolutely terrified, but I cannot stop reading this book. I don't know if I'll be able to finish it today, but honestly, I don't know if I'll be able to wait until tomorrow. Like, it is so absolutely serious. I just came to give you a quick update because I have to continue reading this. I literally cannot stop, and I have to see where this is going. So I'll talk to you when I have my next update, but I'm just gooped and gagged. Good morning, it's the next day. I have a few errands to run this morning, but I do want to update you before I go do that boring stuff. And the update is that yesterday I did finish As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. And I have a few thoughts. Okay, I have a few thoughts. Now that I know what the later half of this book entails, I think that the people that didn't like this were not Pretty Little Liars fans. And it shows. Because this is and I'm saying this in a good way, like I'm taking all the greatest parts out of Pretty Little Liars, the series, not the book series, because I've never read the books. I'm taking all the best parts out of it, okay? Like the first 3 seasons, all the messiness, like the good parts, because it does go downhill later on. But if you love Pretty Little Liars as much as I do, there are really, really amazing parts to it. And this takes some elements out of it and applies them in a way that just makes sense. And people that are like, oh, this is very unlike this main character, they just don't get it. It's one of those things of like, either you get it or you don't. And people that hate this and say that this isn't her, they don't get it like I do, baby. Was this perfect? No. I feel like I would have taken it up a notch even higher. I would have done some things a little bit differently. But I liked it. It was a 4-star. Again, not perfect. Probably my maybe least favorite of the series. But guys, it was really fucking real. Like, this got very real. And if you are a Pretty Little Liars fan, and if you love the concept of like the evolution that happens with the characters throughout Pretty Little Liars, then I think that you're going to like this. And people that say that they don't, they're just a little bit too vanilla for me. And that's my opinion. So I really enjoyed this. Not my favorite. I would have done some things even differently. I would have taken it up even higher. But I did really like it. So I'm very glad that I finished this whole arc. I loved that this was set up from the beginning. Holly Jackson, you had a vision, and I appreciate that. This was the best YA mystery series I've ever read. It was so good, like as a whole, amazing. Honestly, Holly Jackson had a vision. Like, you know when you can tell that later on in series that authors are just scrambling to make things like have sequels, trilogies, B-series. Holly Jackson was not scrambling. She had planned this from the beginning, and I really admire that. So I'm really excited that I finally finished the series, and it was a favorite of the year. It was so good, and I can't believe it, honestly. So in terms of what I want to read next, I was like, okay, I need something a little bit different, right? I need something a little bit different. I'm really sorry it's so dark in my room. It somehow just started to rain a lot. Like, there wasn't any rain planned for today, but it just started raining like crazy, so it's really, really dark in my room. I'm really sorry about that. I think you can see me nicely, but I'm really sorry about that. And I decided that I wanted to read Killers of the Flower Moon next by David Gran. And the reason for this is that I bought this book recently because I've been really feeling like watching this reading this book because I saw the movie last year, and I've been thinking about it ever since. It was such a good movie. Oh my god, it was so beautiful. I think about that ending scene all the time. So I finally bought this book, and I actually really love the texture of it. I know you can't tell, but it's so, I don't know, it's so smoothly. Like, the pages are so nice. You don't care. But this book is like, all of this is references and bibliography and stuff, so I'm not gonna read that. So the book is really only this long, I guess. So it's not very long at all. It's about 300 pages, and I'm currently on page 20. So I read the first chapter of it last night, and obviously I don't have a lot of thoughts because I've read 20 pages, but I think I am enjoying this so far. I think that I am having a good time. And yeah, I'm just going to read this slowly throughout the rest of the week. I don't know if I'm going to finish it, but we'll just have to see. And then I was also looking at my shelves, and I was thinking, okay, what's a small book that I feel like I could read? Because all the books on my autumn and winter TBR are just really long, and for some reason I just don't feel like reading a long book at the moment. Maybe because I have read so many pages this week already with Good Girl, Bad Blood, and As Good as Dead, so I just don't feel like reading like a giant book right now. So I was looking at my shelves, and I thought I could pick up Swimming Back to Trout River by Linda Rui Fang. And this is one of the last books that I still have on my New York TBR. I bought 15 books or something when I went there, and this is one of the last books that I still haven't read. And it is quite short. It is about 260 pages, so not very long at all. And I love this cover so much. And this is about Chinese immigrants. This is 4 intertwined stories. It's about a family throughout different generations, but it's also about like other people that have impacted their lives. It has the synopsis, but the synopsis is a little bit too convoluted to be reading at the moment. But it's about China's cultural revolution. It's about identity. It's about being born in a small Chinese village, but then, you know, moving to a greater city, for example, like San Francisco, which is a really big city, and all that comes with that. It says here, like, the blurb is, can one family with an ocean between them start anew without losing themselves or each other? I don't know. I just thought that this could be a good time before the year ends, so I think I'll be reading both of these books in tandem for the next couple of days, because today is Friday and I want to upload this vlog on Sunday. So I'm going to be reading as much as I can from these 2 books, and I don't have a lot of plans later today. I have to run some errands now, and then later on I am going to work for a little bit. Sometimes I do events. I work at events, and today I have one, but that's only like at 6, but I have to leave my house at like 5. So I only have until then to really read and work on my projects. It's another day at home. I haven't been, guys, I started this week feeling like I'm feeling so good this week. It kind of has been crumbling apart, I'm not gonna lie. I have been really bored this week. I haven't been going out much. I haven't been doing a lot of things. And it's just kind of getting to me. But I'm not gonna let it get to me because I have some fun plans tomorrow, I think. So I'm going to focus on that and just get through today. Honestly, this rainy, messy ass day. But yeah, I'll see when I have my updates on either of these books. Hello friends, it is now Sunday. I was supposed to upload this vlog today, but things just got out of hand this weekend and I wasn't feeling the best, but I am so much better now. And I came here to wrap up this vlog. I feel like this vlog wasn't very good, but we live and we learn, you know, and I hope that next week is so much better because it will be my birthday. You are looking at the 24-year-old version of me, and I am going to be upgrading to the 25th version of me, so that's a lot. Like, I'm old. But in any case, I do want to talk about the books that I have finished in this vlog, which were a lot this week. I finished 3 books and I'm currently reading my 4th, which is so exciting. As you know, first of all, I listened and I finished The Woman in Me by Britney Spears, and she is such an inspiration. She's such an icon, such a Sagittarius queen as well, and I really identified with a lot of how she felt. Obviously not what happened to her, because how could I ever identify with that, but just the way that she was. Like, she's so sweet, she's so passionate, there's just so much good in her. I love her so much. So that was really great. I ended up giving like a 5-star. It's probably like a 4, but I just love rating a memoir 5 stars. That's one thing about me. I love rating a good memoir. So she got a 5-star for me. I don't care. And then I read both of the books. I read Good Girl, Bad Blood and As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson, which are books 2 and 3 in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. And oh my god, I really loved the series so much more than I was anticipating. I thought it was such a good trilogy. The second book was also 4.5 as the first one. I really enjoyed it. I thought the mystery was fun. It was unique. I loved the characters, the development, and the character explorations were really good, and I thought the mysteries were well done as well. People don't usually like this one, but I really enjoyed it anyway. And then this one, so controversial, and I definitely, now that I've read it, I understand why. But again, this is for the PLL girlies. This is for the girls who like when things get messy, and I love when things get messy. I'm a messy bitch, so I love when things get messy. And I thought that the whole arc of this trilogy was so fun, and so unpredictable, because you don't think that this author is going to go there, because this is a YA trilogy, even though it doesn't feel like it. It's very graphic sometimes, and it explores trauma in a way that I haven't seen in other young adult mysteries or thrillers, which I think is very well done, because trauma is a very realistic response that we don't often see in these types of mysteries and thrillers. And you don't think that she's gonna go there, but she went there. She really went there, and I thought it was so much fun. Such a good trilogy. I'm so glad that I finally read it this year. So glad that I finally finished. So glad that I own it. Just what a time to be alive. What a fun series that just flew by. And yeah, I had the most amazing time. I think that the third one is a 4-star, not a 5, because I would have done some things differently. I would have done some things, I don't know, just a little bit differently, but I still really, really enjoyed it. And then I'm currently reading Killers of the Flower Moon by David Grann. I'm on page almost 80, so I'm like almost a third of the way through. And I'm also really, really enjoying this book. It's very factual, so the writing is not anything special, but at the same time, I don't think that it's boring. So I think it's a really, really good mix of, you know, like not the most exceptionally lyrical writing, but also not being so dry that it's just like a dry biography or like textbook. So I think it's so interesting, obviously really, really sad. And just thinking about the movie and the visuals of everything as I'm reading this book and seeing the photos of the actual real life people that were involved in the situations, and just seeing such a different culture. I don't know, because, you know, I'm from Europe, so we have nothing like the Native Americans. There's no such thing, and so it's so captivating and so interesting to read about it. Obviously horrifyingly sad. I wish I could, obviously this is so stupid to say, but I wish I could change the outcome. I wish I could change the way that the American people viewed these Native American tribes, but obviously I can't undo that. And I don't know, I just really am enjoying this book. I am reading it a little bit slowly because, well, it is, look at the photos, because it is a nonfiction, so I am reading it a bit more slowly, but I'm really, really enjoying it. And yeah, I think that thinking about the movie while I'm reading is really helping me out with a lot of visuals and making me feel a lot of things, honestly. So yeah, those are the 3 books that I finished this week, and I'm now currently on to the 4th. I'm still going to be reading before the end of the year, what is it called? Swimming Back to Trout River by Linda Ruifang. I'm still going to be reading that, but yeah, I didn't have enough time to read it in this vlog, but honestly that's okay. I read a lot in this vlog. And again, I know it wasn't the best vlog. I just stayed home a lot this week, which is not always the most exciting thing to see, and I understand that and I get that. And hopefully next week will be a lot better, a lot more of going out, having fun. And yeah, in any case, I hope that you did enjoy watching this vlog. It's one of the last vlogs of the year, which is so exciting to say. I am so done with 2024. And yeah, I just hope that you did enjoy watching this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more bookish content, and I'll see you in my next video. I hope you have a nice day, and always remember that life is worth reading.